Welcome back to the Think Tank. Today, we're tackling one of the most alarming questions facing America. Is the United States heading towards civil war?
While a full-scale war like the 1860s is highly unlikely, the disturbing reality is this: political violence is rising, and the trend lines are pointing in the wrong direction. Let's look at the recent timeline of events and what they tell us about America's future. In just the past year, we've seen a string of violent incidents directly tied to politics, ideology, or identity. In September 2025, conservative activist Charlie Kirk was assassinated by a sniper in Utah while speaking at a public event.
Just 3 months earlier, in June 2025, a gunman impersonating a police officer killed Minnesota House Speaker and writer Melissa Hortman, her husband, and wounded several others, including State Senator John Hoffman. In May 2025, 2 foreign diplomats were shot dead outside the Capitol Jewish Museum, Washington, D.C., as the attacker shouted, "Free, free Palestine."
In June 2025, a firebombing at a solidarity walk in Boulder, Colorado left multiple people injured and one elderly man dead.
The attacker admitted he was targeting what he called Zionist people. And in July 2025, a stabbing spree inside a Walmart in Traverse City, Michigan left 11 people wounded.
The suspect was even charged with terrorism. Each of these events shows that politics, ideology, and identity are fueling violent acts across the country. These incidents aren't isolated. Experts who track extremist activity say the number of attacks and plots against government figures has risen sharply since 2016. Think tanks like the Center for Strategic and International Studies note that political leaders and public figures are being targeted at alarming rates. Violence isn't evenly spread either. Data shows clustering in certain regions, where local polarization, weaker institutions, or online radicalization feed the cycle. And while the majority of lethal political violence in the US has come from right-wing or anti-government extremists, we're also seeing attacks tied to hot-button global issues like Israel and Palestine.
So, while this isn't a civil war in the traditional sense, it is a new era of political violence, one where local acts of terror, assassination attempts, and ideological violence are becoming part of America's political landscape.
So what should we be watching for?
Scholars say there are a few critical warning lights: political figures becoming prime targets when assassinations and assassination attempts rise. It's a signal of democratic erosion. Identity-driven violence when attackers frame their crimes in terms of us versus them, whether that's religion, ethnicity, or ideology.
Regional clusters, areas where repeated incidents suggest localized instability.
Digital radicalization, online spaces fueling conspiracy theories, hatred, and recruitment for violence. These are the same conditions that have preceded civil unrest in other countries.
Let's be clear, America is not on the brink of another 1861. We're not seeing organized armies, states seceding, or militias holding territory. But what we are seeing is something different, and in some ways, more insidious. A drip-drip rise in political violence that undermines trust, destabilizes communities, and erodes democracy.
This is the danger. Not a second civil war, but a country where violence becomes normalized in politics. So, is America heading for civil war? Probably not. But are we heading into a period of greater instability, more attacks, and more fear in public life?
Absolutely, unless the trend is reversed. What do you think?
Are these incidents isolated tragedies, or signs of something much bigger? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Think Tank for deeper dives into the stories shaping our world.